what's up, everyone? This here is Kyle Davenport, and this is the first edition of the new Bust and Knuckle Pro Wrestling show. And we're just going to start from scratch. We don't have a name for it yet, but we're going to get to that. And here we're going to talk about the development going into the return of BKPW, a little bit of its history, some new stuff in development, and then we're even going to get to the roster. We're going to start establishing that. It's a whole lot of stuff to come, but right now, like I said, we're starting from scratch. Now, for today, we've got a very, very big guest. This guy has been with it from the start and plays a pretty big part. You last saw him 4 years ago on April 9th, 2016, when he went to hell with Shane Douglas. And that is my guest. We're going to kick it off with the only King of Skids in Ontario, Rhys Greenaway. Reece, are you there? How you doing? There he is. This is the man right here. Rhys Greenaway, thanks for joining. And that poster went up a couple weeks ago. I think everybody wants to know how have you been? What's happening?
I'm doing well, Kyle. Thanks for having me on your new show. Glad to be on. Not much is happening, I guess. Living a great life. Got a baby boy now, 2 years old, and ready to get back into the wrestling business. You know how it goes.
Absolutely. That's 4 years of marriage, too.
Yeah, 4 years.
What's tougher, the marriage or the wrestling ring?
Definitely the marriage.
Okay. Which one do you put more work into?
Definitely the marriage. Yes.
So, Reece, what is going to be your new part? Like, we all know you were part of it, not just as an in-ring performer. What's your part going to be now in the return, this resurrection?
Oh, well, same thing. I'm still going to own the company. This time coming at it a little bit different. Got a partner this time who will be joining us. I believe you have him set to join us in this meeting.
Yeah, I've got a name where that's going to be very interesting. Not to jump ahead, but I think fans are going to find that very interesting now, the new role play of this individual.
Well, it's he's just as big of it. If it wasn't for him, it wouldn't be happening. Like, that's got to be said right from the get-go. Okay. I always wanted Busted Knuckle to stay alive. One thing I want to talk about before we get in with other people is the final show, Greenaway Goes to Hell, was supposed to be just me going to hell. And stuff just doesn't always work out the way you want it to in life. And sometimes you have to end a chapter to start a new chapter. And I wanted to buy a house with my loving wife and have a family. And we've done that. We've managed to get all that secured. But I had to go and focus. I had to focus on myself and my family for a little while. We're good now. We're better than we could ever imagine to be. And as I said, now it's time to get back in the wrestling business. And in February, I got a phone call from a certain individual that secured himself a new building for his businesses. And just thought it would make for a great place to have some wrestling. So he called me, and I went and looked, and we struck a deal.
Now, just so we're clear, because originally you answered same thing, but you're still owning it. You haven't been totally away from wrestling. You have been doing stuff. You've been refereeing. You've been managing. You've been doing little things. Are you 100% done in the ring?
Well, they say never say never. I am retired. I don't ever plan on coming back full-time wrestling. Maybe down the road, I wouldn't mind strapping my boots up once or twice to let my son see me wrestle. I think that's every parent's dream, is to let their kids see what they did and what they really loved to do and had a passion to do. But I'd be lying to everybody if I said I could come back full time. I couldn't. My body is destroyed. I've never had the surgeries I needed to have. I've consistently put them off to work and support my family, and my body couldn't take it. What the guys do in the ring, you don't understand what it takes to be in a wrestling ring. It's not just gymnastics and fun. They're in pain every single day, and I know the pain because I'm in pain every single day. And it just, I couldn't do it full time. But I would like to do it once or twice so my son could see me. But he's only 2 now, so it'd still be a while.
Still got some time.
Yeah.
But time has been an ally to BKPW, and that's why 4 years later, here we are. So, what else was I going to say? I guess it's now, you said about a call in February. Do you want to talk about this now? Or, because I know some people are probably chomping at the bit to know who was on the other end of this phone call.
Well, instead of me saying, why don't we just bring that guy in the conversation and he can explain that phone call in February?
Okay, because I didn't think it was going to get any bigger than an action this man took several years ago, but here it is. If this is the guy who called you, let's bring him in. Are you there, Mr. Pizan? This is, and there he is. Mike, this is Mike Pizan, everybody, and he had a pretty formidable part in the company. He worked with some of the talent, and he also called the shots sometimes and laid down the law, sometimes excessively. Mike Pizan, here you are. Welcome to the show.
Kyle, how are you? Reece, how's it going, buddy?
What's up, brother?
So, Kyle, just so you know, it's Sensei Mike. I prefer that. It's not a thing. It's just a formality with the martial arts. So,
absolutely, yeah, we can respect that. I'm sorry, Sensei Mike. Absolutely, yes.
So yeah, I'm totally thrilled to be part of the company. In January, the dojo and the group that I work with, we have a pretty large martial arts facility, and we moved into kind of the old, it was the old Far Lumber warehouse down at the corner of the 420 and Montrose Road. Big giant place, probably 20,000 square feet. So when we moved in there, we thought that, as part of some of the things that I want to do, why not bring wrestling back in? And as you said, about 5 years ago, I was pretty involved with with Busted Knuckle. I inserted myself in a few of the goings on that happened, and I really enjoyed being involved with it. And even at one point, there was talk about me actually buying the company from Reece, but again, just sort of like with him, things didn't work out. I went through a pretty nasty divorce at the time. I have 2 very young daughters that I take care of and that live with me, and it wasn't in the cards at the time. They're a little bit older now, so when we moved to the new location, it seemed that the stars aligned, right? It's like, hey, Reece, let's do something and get this up and running again. Because
so you thought about contacting Reece first?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this is. I don't want to say I was the driving force, but I'm like, Reece and I had talked about this. We've known each other for years. I've been a local indie wrestling fan for years and years and years, right?
Well, I was just gonna, Sensei Mike, actually, that just brings it up. You just said you've known Reece for years. How did you two first come together?
Well, the funny thing is he used to live in my grandparents' house in one of their apartments. So
your grandparents' house? In
my grandparents' house, and his landlord was my cousin. Well, still is my cousin. Was his landlord. And so I knew him through that, and then because of that
sounds like a TV show in itself.
Well, exactly, it probably would be. There was some of those backyard parties that we had were kind of fun.
I think we all know how to party in BKPW.
That's the part of it. That's why we're all having beers here. So
yeah. Yeah. Let me just say this. Me and Mike have known each other a very long time. Yeah. He's right. I lived in his grandparents' building. I rented an apartment, me and my wife, when I first moved in Niagara Falls.
And that's right in Niagara Falls, right? Yeah,
right in Niagara Falls. But Mike also, as you said, he used to go to the old Neo Spirit shows, wrestling shows. I used to go to the old wrestling shows. Yeah. We actually met way back then.
Absolutely.
I was just underage, and he was of age to drink, because there's a few years difference between me and Mike. Yeah. Mike was always in the heel drunk section at Neo.
Yeah. If you remember in the old, we had the balcony up top, right? And we would just pile our beer, our empties up top there and scream at the wrestlers. Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you, I grew up, and a lot of the guys at the shows and the workers will probably remember, I like to cheer for the heels. I get in the face's face. I cheer for the heels. It's the thing I do. As far as a wrestling fan, it's just like a good movie. Nobody goes to see Luke Skywalker. They want to see Darth Vader cut some people in half, right? So just like that, I've always appreciated people that bring more of an edgy value to the ring, right? A little bit harder. I grew up as a fighter myself. I've been a martial artist for 35 years. I've been in the mats. And, when I started doing MMA fights, we didn't even have gloves. So I appreciate the busted knuckle, hardcore, hard style, heelish type of competitor, right? And that's what's always drawn me to wrestling. And to be honest, busted knuckle is nothing like any other wrestling out there anywhere. It is a unique thing, and it's an awesome thing, and it's why I've been involved with it since the beginning, pretty much, right? When I sponsored shows.
Absolutely, yeah. As far as your importance of heels and character and efficiency and what they bring, I, for one, 100% can side with you on that. I agree. That's where the money's at, and the entertainment factor. And Busted Knuckle, as you said, it isn't, because I've seen these shows. I've been around, and every year for the company in those 4 or 5 years, it did feel different. Everyone had a uniqueness to it. It started somewhere and it ended somewhere. So where do you say that we're starting? So now the call happened, and where are we starting from? What's happening here? What are you guys doing with this?
It's simple. We're gonna fuck shit up. I'm not gonna edit nothing for anybody. Keep in mind, we want your kids to come, but we're gonna be PG-14, I guess you'd call it. Yeah. There's gonna be swearing. There's violence. I don't apologize for it. It's what we do. We're your alternative to every other indie wrestling show.
Absolutely, because too many people play it safe.
Yeah, too many people come out and do your pure family-friendly show. I've got a son. He loves to watch wrestling. I'd bring him to a Busted Knuckle show for the earlier parts, but then, there's times where the babysitter needs to come pick him up because we're going to fuck shit up. It's that simple. Anarchy Hour will be back.
Exactly. You know what? Busted Knuckle isn't about playing it safe, And to be honest, that's what the world's now is about, right? People are pussies, and we're not. So we're going to make sure that we put on a product that will be different from everybody else, and it's going to be something that when you're done a show, you're going to say, holy shit, when's the next one? That's what we want to have on everybody's face when we leave. We want to have an awesome experience for the fans. We want to have an awesome experience for the competitors that are actually in the ring, because that's what it's all about, right? Having a good atmosphere, and it's why I wanted to be involved. It's why it was successful the first time, and it's going to be as good, if not better, than before.
Oh, yeah, it was always compelling, and you really shook shit up. If I'm going to take one thing that comes to mind, it's Sands Through the Hourglass at the end of 2015. You were so pissed off, you hauled the whole roster up you fired some of them for no showing. I mean, you you didn't take any shit, and I mean that was a reset there. And now here we are 4 years later. So what can we expect from you now? Are you just gonna everyone gets a clean slate now, or what?
Well, again, I'm not involved with the in the ring stuff, right? I'm going to be at all the shows. I'm going to be hosting the shows. I'm going to even maybe try my hand at a little bit of ring announcing. But as far as what happens in the ring, you know, those are the I respect all those guys. What they do on a weekly basis, you know, most of the guys on the independent circuit are young fellows, they're young ladies trying to make their way in a pretty tough business. And they're going from one arena to another in small towns every weekend, piling in their car. And, you know, it's something that I want to make sure that they have a spot to showcase their talents. And far be it for me to get involved with that, right? So I'm going to leave the wrestling to the wrestlers and the promoting to the promoters.
Okay, so you're behind the scenes, you're like producing, but you're not a general manager per se?
I won't be, well, okay, so I won't be completely behind the scenes. You're going to see me. I like to be around, but I'm not. Reece is running the wrestling show.
We're going to discuss and work out what goes on amongst ourselves. We have a tiebreaker person set up. If we get locked in an argument, there will be somebody who will settle our differences. But as I said, me and Sensei Mike to you are friends. First and foremost, we will discuss what people are there, what they'll be doing. As such, together we will be the general managers.
Okay. All right. That's good. So that's who you are then. That's you're the team, and this is a fully united front.
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
Okay. All right, great. And that's good because you guys are so close and you have so much history and connection, and I think the company can only be stronger now with you two combining, especially Reece, if you're more in a hands-on role with Sensei Mike, working and not having to worry about the in-ring.
That's exactly it. A lot of my time gets freed up now because before I'd be doing everything, and then I'd also have to prepare myself for my match, and it's just a lot on the plate. Every wrestler / promoter knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. All right. So that is September 12th, all going well with this pandemic shit. And it's the resurrection, because that's what it is. And, you know, any thoughts? If there's one message that you both want to have for fans to know at this point, what would it be?
So the other thing we want to make sure is that over between now and the show, we're going to put out some stuff that people can get them familiar with the product, see what they've been missing, get excited about it again, right? So that's
Absolutely.
why we want to make sure that we have some wrestlers out to talk about maybe their experiences with Busted Knuckle in the past and what we can expect to see from them in the future. And then, as always, we're free to join as well. So it'll be
all right. Yeah, because there's some YouTube content. There's different matches on YouTube right now through various things, and then you're working on the website, right? There's going to be a website.
Yeah. The website will be a little more comprehensive than in the past. So far it's just the poster up there, but as soon as we start announcing matches and the roster and whatnot, we'll start to get that out to people so that we can build that excitement and build the buzz, right? Because
nice. Which includes Twitter and Instagram at BKPW_NF, right? Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct. We also have another show coming out. You're not the only show Busted Knuckle's going to be producing. We're going to have a show with referee Turnup. Turnup is going to go around and he's going to talk with wrestlers in his travel that he's worked with, not just in Busted Knuckle Pro Wrestling, but in other companies too. And he's going to do 10 questions with Turnup.
I like it.
So,
10
Look
questions.
forward to that.
And well, talking about names of shows, should we just, anybody listening, should we say hit up our Twitter handles and Facebook page and throw out name suggestions for this?
Oh, for sure. Name this, because I think we came up with Busted Beers
yeah,
Busted
with Kyle
Beers,
Davenport.
Busted Chops, and
yeah.
Give us name suggestions, because one area, apparently the three of us suck at that.
Yeah, naming
Busted
we're
Wide
not very good
Open
at.
with Kyle. Oh no, that sounds dirty. Busted
Yeah.
Wide Open with Kyle Davenport. We won't do that.
Yeah, we don't want to have that crowd.
No,
I was entertained.
it was. Okay, final thoughts before we wrap this up.
Busted Knuckles back. Strap on your boots, because if you thought we were crazy before and intense before, you ain't seen shit.
Yeah, and just like I've always said, crack open a beer, roll one up, and have a good time. We'll see you on the 12th.
Excellent. Okay, thank you, Sensei Mike, very much. Thank you, King of Skids. You are still the King of Skids, I think. Always will be. Rhys Greenaway.
Always. Yep.
Always. All right. Thank you both very much.
Right on.
All right. And everybody for tuning in. This was a full one today. We're going to try and keep them concise and quick and bring you, new roster members. So thanks very much. I hope you were informed and you're looking forward to these months to come as more developments and news on the Busted Knuckle Pro Wrestling front is coming your way. I'm Kyle Davenport. Thanks for tuning in, and cheers.